Hey, what's up guys, it's Junior. I had the privilege of going to Ulsan HD's K-League game with my dad, and we were fortunate enough to have the VIP access to this game. In this video, we'll experience what it's like to watch the Ulsan HD's home game in those VIP seats together, and I'll also give you guys a tour of the Ulsan WorldCup stadium. But like I said in the very beginning, my name is Jin and I'm a licensed physical therapist, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already to stay up to date with physical therapy and sports related contents. Ulsan HD is located in Ulsan, South Korea. It's by the East Sea on the east coast of Korea, and it's well known for heavy industry companies that make airplane parts, cargo ships, and cars. The two letters HD in Ulsan HD actually stands for Hyundai, and it's that same company that makes cars that you guys are probably more familiar with. HD Hyundai is just a branch of that big company, and HD focuses mostly on petroleum business and making cargo ships. Anyways, back to the game day. Getting to the stadium was pretty straightforward. We stayed at a hotel that was in downtown of Ulsan, and we took the cab all the way to the stadium. It wasn't too far, and we also weren't really familiar with how the bus system works there, so just a simple 15-minute cab ride and we were at the stadium. The stadium that Ulsan HD plays in, it's called the Big Crown because of how it looks from the outside, and with the capacity of 38,000 people, I think about 22,000 people came to this game. It's a pretty big stadium. It's hard to miss from the main road, and it was also built in 1998, which is pretty old. But I didn't get the feeling that it was old because they recently renovated the inside of the stadium and changed all the seats on the first and second floor of the stadium as part of rebranding the team. Before the players came out, I actually did get a chance to get on the field myself and walk around a bit, and I gotta say the first thing that I noticed was the quality of the grass. I knew a lot of K-League players have spoken out against the poor quality of the grass that they play on, but seeing it for myself, it was pretty bad. Apparently it's hard to grow this kind of grass and maintain it well throughout the season in Korea, especially in Ulsan where it's hot and humid. It's a southern part of Korea, and so definitely room for improvement there in order to keep the players safe. It's gonna be a big part of preventing injury, and also it's gonna help improve the quality of the games and improve the standard for the league. But really, regardless of all that, it still felt amazing to experience being on the field. I could definitely sense the energy and the tension that players would feel playing in a game with a stadium that's full. And I thought that Munsu WorldCup Stadium, the stadium that I was visiting, did a really good job designing the seats closer to the field, closer to the pitch, so that the crowd that's watching the game could fully immerse themselves into the experience. I got to see the tunnel where the players come out onto the pitch before the game, and I couldn't help but recreate that experience for myself. And I gotta say, I definitely felt the adrenaline rush as I was walking out the tunnel onto the pitch, even though nobody was paying attention. So I can't imagine how the players would feel walking up to the pitch with a full crowd for a big game like this one. And the bench area was nice too. It was pretty simple and it looked comfortable. I think the way that they set up the stadium matters a lot more than we think, because it shows how much the management and how much the club is willing to invest in their players who are technically their employees. And I don't know about you, but if I was a professional football player, I would want to play harder in a stadium that is nicely kept and well maintained than in a stadium that's not so well maintained. Alright, let's get to the start of the show here. Watching the game from the VIP seats. And I gotta say big thanks to Kim Kwang-guk 단장님 for hooking my dad and I up with these seats. It was my first time watching a game from a seat like this, and it just made me want to crave watching a game at this level from a quality environment like this more and more in the future. Once we got past security and entered the room was already set up with some food, some beverages. They even had some beer that was made in Ulsan, and they had snacks. Most importantly, they had AC, and the AC felt incredible with Ulsan being a city in the south, like I said before. It was nice to have the opportunity to kind of cool down in the room and then go out to watch the game in the seats outside the room. What was also nice, although we watched the entire game from the seats outside the room, we also had the option to go inside the room where it's pretty quiet. You can watch the game from the TV and you can kind of quiet down from the adrenaline rush that you definitely want to immerse yourself in when you're watching the game from the stands. The food was great as well. We had chicken and pizza. And I honestly wouldn't have gotten some snacks from the snack stands before we entered the room if I had known that the food was gonna be there. The snack that I got is called sotok. It's sausage, and tteok, which is a rice cake, and it's a pretty popular snack in Korea, and I highly recommend it for any of you that's watching this video to try the snack because I like it a lot. Being a big foodie, I really enjoy eating while I'm watching a game, even when I'm watching from home on my TV. And the fact that I could do that in the stadium made it just that much better. And it was good food too, so I enjoy the experience of eating food too. Ulsan HD, the home team that we were rooting for, they're a very strong team. They won the league 2 years in a row, last year and the year before. And they're also trying to win the title again this year. They're in the second place. They have a lot of players that are in the Korean national team at this moment or have played at a very high level before. So they always have high expectations for themselves, both domestically and in the Asian Champions League as well. The team that they played against this game, Pohang Steelers, they're also a very good team. They're a big rival of Ulsan, being that they're close in proximity in terms of where they are in Korea. And both teams have a lot of history and tradition in the league. Ulsan ended up winning 5-4, so there were 9 goals, which is pretty crazy. I thought the game was over when Ulsan was winning 5-2 towards the end of second half, but Pohang kept coming back and they eventually got to 5-4, and we were definitely on our toes the last couple minutes of the game, but the game ended at 5-4, and I was happy for Ulsan. It was a very entertaining game towards the end of the season where every game matters a lot, and the fans and the atmosphere just made the experience that much more enjoyable. So overall thoughts, I would highly recommend going to a K-League game in person and watching the game in person because it does make a difference. It's also better if you know what's going on in the league, if you follow the players, because the more you know, the more you care, right? So it just makes it that much more fun. And going to the game in person also allows you to travel to a city that you've never been before or experience the culture there or the people there. And it's a great way to enjoy the game, but also enjoy the culture that the city has, which is probably very unique compared to where you live. And so I plan on going to more games in the future. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you and have a good day.